Have you written anything yet? Anybody here written anything yet? Besides me?
Well, me and publish?
No, written. You written something. You written something. You written something. You written anything yet, Aiden?
Composition gone?
Yeah. So if you haven't written, the next question is when are you going to stop?
Yeah.
So since you've all written, when are you going to continue?
Forever. Till I get my book. Till I get my book. My first book.
So this is one of the quotes that I really like. He said, this is how you do it. You sit down on the keyboard and you put one word after another until it's done. It's that easy and not hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a quote by Neil Gaiman. I like that quote. Mm-hmm. So now we're on the writing process. You have, there's a document I gave you. So any questions on that little synopsis, that little brief, brief thing about what I said so far? Anything?
Straightforward.
Everything clear?
Yeah.
Okay, straightforward. So the writing process. And you're looking at that little diagram, this here. Okay. That says, ask that what if. Think of an idea, then write it. Take the idea and make it grow into its own creative world. Okay? Terror. That's what I put in the next one. Don't get scared. Every process can be adapted to suit your needs. There is no hard and fast rule to writing. The process often emerges as you go along. Take it one step at a time. Okay? If you've asked yourself, am I really a writer? Am I really an artist? The answer is almost certainly yes. The fake is wildly confident, the authentic, scared to death. And that was part of my journey. I'm writing this, I'm trying to be writing this, but I'm terrified. So every step was a step of terror, like, what am I doing? I got to do this, I got to get that done, I got to go doing all the other things. They ain't happening. The only thing you're being pointed to is write this book, write this idea, write this thought, draw this picture. Okay? Okay, the 5 steps. You pre-write, that means you brainstorm. Writing, revision, editing, publishing. Okay? That's that paper, the second document I gave you. So pre-write, brainstorm. For me in my process, so I tell you every process can be adapted. My process is I don't brainstorm nothing. I just, whatever the story is, the story comes out. Okay? When I first wrote these stories, the first 5 stories, it was pretty much, what's the next story? What I could write, and then an idea pop in my head, and I guess that would be brainstorming, right? That would have been brainstorming and whatever. But I didn't see it that way. I just said, like this idea popped in my head, so I wrote the story. The second story I wrote sitting in, when we had the girls' club meeting, I wrote the second story sitting there. And my stories run between 1,200 and 1,500 words, so that's like less than 40 pages. So they're like little short stories. I'm going to put to the point right up. Okay. I don't like all the flowery words and describing the sky blue, and it's azure, and it's all these different colors, and you're trying to, I'm getting you to visualize what I'm saying, and I want you to get it right away. I don't like all them words. Okay? I'm an avid reader, but I don't like, so I skip over words and books and I read them. Okay? So when you pre-writing, they say find your ideas. Right? They're all around you. There's all kinds of things you could write about. So you might draw inspiration from a routine, an everyday situation, or a childhood memory. Alternatively, keep a notebook with you so you could write things down. Build your own idea. So then you build a story around the idea. You build what you want. You keep going. Okay? Plan and structure. Okay? Piecing the puzzle together comes next. It's time to sort through your ideas and choose which ones you will use to form your story. Make sure you keep your notes even after your book is published. These may be the seeds for your next story as well. Okay? Writing. Then, here comes the dreaded, now I gotta make a story out of this. Okay? So now you have your plan and you're ready to start writing. Remember, this is your first rough draft. Okay? Most people suggest that when you write, do not try to edit. Do not write and edit at the same time. Okay. which is really a very, very good point, because sometimes when you write and you try to edit, you miss or you lose your train of thought.
Yeah.
You're going backwards, trying to fix that little line when the story wants to flow, and you need it to flow out of you. So do not edit while you write. Write it down, get it down, and then you go back and you edit. Okay? And editing, that's your edit. Then you give it to somebody else to read, they edit. Then eventually you get a professional editor, and a professional editor edits. So your story, whatever it is you've written, can take a while to come out, or it could come out pretty quickly because if you're well written, you know your English language, and you know your basics, you know your difference between there, and there, and you know you and your, and you know how to use you apostrophe re, you are, you know how to use those things. And the editor ain't gonna work too hard editing your work, okay? And sometimes you rewrite it, and then like that line you thought was the best line in the entire world, and you write, oh, that don't sound too good no more. So then you have to go back and you rewrite it. Okay? So you do not edit when you write. Just let it write. Just write the story. Write the poem, the song, the whatever it is you're writing. Okay?
Okay.
So this is why you have editors. Bad writing precedes good writing. This is an infallible rule. So don't waste time trying to avoid bad writing. That just slows down the process. Anything committed to paper can be changed. The idea is to start and then go from there. That is from Janet Holstrom. And here's another one by Mark Twain. Substitute damn every time you're, pardon my language, substitute damn every time you're inclined to write very. Your editor will delete it, and the writing will be just as it should be. Okay? So what's next? So, any questions? Because I'm publishing in the editing
That's a
process.
good point for an agent to take note of. And examinations, that's really, you don't really get an opportunity to write 2 copies, but you plan,
Right.
Yeah.
write, and then you go over and have to.
Right.
Because like she is saying, if you don't go over, you don't know what your mistakes are.
Yeah.
So it's more than one draft. You have to
Yeah, you have to be more than one proud. I learned that in school. When I was in school, when I was in high school. Yeah, when I was in school.
Even if I write a letter,
Yeah.
you know,
You gotta go back
I
over
have to
it.
go back over, I have to read that again, and then go back and change or do whatever. So I don't think it's necessary.
Yes, yeah. So I learned that in school though, with essays and compositions. You had to write it, then go back and read it over and stuff like that, and put up your main points and all that stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, what's next? You all have any other questions? As I going pretty fast.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
But it really relates to writing. I'm kind of thinking that after this session, what's next? After the single session here with this group, well, what happens next? They're going to be left alone, or I said they might need more guidance, like a writing club or something where we can develop.
Well, yeah, well. We'll discuss all at the end of the class, you'll see.
Okay.
Anything else? I know I go in pretty fast, but I want to know if you all have any more questions. Straightforward so far? It's valuable information? Okay. So what's next? That's a lot of work, right?
Yes.
You thought writing was hard. You really think writing hard, eh?
Yep.
There is still a lot more to do. We have only just begun. Decisions. What are you going to do with this great, awesome document that you have written? What are you going to do? You have a lot of options. What are you going to do?
Well, I want
Are you
publish.
going to publish it?
I want publish.
Are you going to publish it for public consumption? Or is it just going to be a book you want to publish for Christmas to give out to people? Or a one-time publishing book? Or you just want to publish it for you and keep it to yourself? What are you going to do?
I want for public consumption.
Okay, the first thing you have to do first, though, is to copyright and protect your work. Now, in the United States of America, you don't really have to copyright it because it's an original work and it's automatically protected. The copyright adds an additional protection. In the Bahamas, you can copyright your document for $10 at the Register General Office in Nassau.
Oh wow,
That's
I
all it
didn't know
takes.
that. Okay.
Now, I don't know since VAT come in if that changed. I have not checked. I was supposed to check it. But you could go over to the Registrar General, go up on the 3rd floor, I think, and then she'll sit with you. You fill out your form and everything, and you put it in. The day you put the copyright in is the day that your document is registered from. There is no different date. There is nothing spectacular, and it's copyrighted your lifetime plus 100 years.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So that's the protection they give you. And every additional edit, every change you make to the document, you take it to them, they copyright it again, you pay $2.
Okay.
Okay? So you could be editing until Jesus comes and still just go pay $2.
Okay.
But the initial fee, when I did mine, is $10. All right?
Because I not really a question, but a statement. Because you remember that saying what they used to say, it's better in the Bahamas, and we thought that was they copywrote it. They didn't do it, so they had to change it because I can't remember who else adopted that.
Right.
So they had to change it because they didn't copyright it.
Right.
And now they're using the Bahamas. It just keep getting better. Okay. I don't know if anybody else noticed that.
No, I didn't notice that. But that's a good point. And that's a valid point because what they do is they check the records. So when you register a name, but see, that's a registering the name. They say you own the name. That's like, okay, let me give you an example. That's like, I have a company named Road Runners, right? But they also have a track
club
named Road Runners.
Yeah.
When I went to register the company, the company name was free and clear. That was free. Nobody had gone and registered the name Road Runners. So then, of course, now I could have that name because in their records, it don't belong to nobody.
Yeah.
And technically, it still belongs to me. Okay? So that's the benefit of registering the name. Nobody could use it again. And then trademark is another level of protection because if somebody uses your name, you can sue them.
Yeah, right.
Right? So that's trademark, meaning that's your trademark. Everybody see that, they know that's you. And when somebody else uses it, they're infringing on your right. And infringing on your name, right?
Yeah.
It's illegal. Next thing to do with that stop, that's okay.
It dying, yeah.
You can stop it. If next thing is I still need some pictures.